Let us look now at a display obtained from the data from 2 census questions. Where do you live and where do you work? Double-click on the New Zealand Commuter View file within the Data Visualisation folder. Again, on Home to Work All Journeys. Enable the SVG file by double-clicking again, and then allow the blocked content. We will now see a map of New Zealand appear. We can zoom in and out on this using the arrows, and thus obtain a finer region. Or we can use a quick select and choose a particular region. For example, let's choose Auckland City. Again, let's move out a little bit, and get a finer region. Now by hovering over the map of Auckland, we can see a visualisation spider graphs of the number of commuters who leave their home destination indicated by the right arrow and go to work at various destinations indicated by the red arrows. The number of commuters that take each route from this home to work is indicated by the intensity of the red colour and the width of the arrow, as shown on this key. If we click at a particular point, that graph will stay, and we can choose another graph, and we get a sense of how many people are moving from particular destinations to work. What we can see is that in the Auckland region, people are leaving many home destinations and going to a variety of work destinations. Let's look at another city. For example, let's look at Wellington City. Will we see the same pattern? We'll click and hold some of these, and what we see is, yes, people are leaving from many home destinations, but there's a much stronger sense of them coming into a particular point here in the centre of the city. And we can see that people in Wellington, the capital city, tend to work in a small area, the CBD of the city. This is a different pattern than was shown in Auckland. If we put onto it the road network and the rail network, we can also see that the movement of commuters in the Wellington region is following the transport system, in particular the rail and the road systems. Let us go back now and look if the pattern is the same. For Maori commuters, again enable the SVG file and allow the blocked content. And now what we're going to be seeing is the same map, but instead of having data from all New Zealanders on it, it will just have the commuting patterns for Maori New Zealanders. Let's choose again the Wellington district. We see here that the numbers are much fewer, reflecting the difference in size between the total and the Maori populations. But again, there's a similar pattern of people leaving their home destinations to come to work in the centre of Wellington City here, the CBD. Let's go back again and look at the reverse direction. Let's look at where people work and then have to go from work to home. You can do this for a number of different business types. We will look at health and community. Double click on the work to home data file, again enable the SVG file and allow the blocked content. Again we'll choose Wellington City to look at. Now as we move around the graph, what we're seeing are health providers, hospitals, doctors' surgeries, people who are working in the health sector, and many of these are very small. So we see small numbers of people who, for example here, work at this destination and live over here. And now we've got a very large health provider. This is the Central Hospital in Wellington. And what this graphic now tells us is that people who work at this hospital commute from very long distances. In particular, let me click on that, we see that there are large numbers of people moving along the public transport systems, coming along this particular road network through here, which is along the waterfront, hills surrounding here. So many of these people are living over hills. This is the sort of information that's needed by local authorities when they're doing their risk mitigation planning. New Zealand lies on a fault line, and in particular there's a fault lying around here. So this may be an issue for this particular health provider, which is the hospital servicing all of this inner city region. We will leave it there and allow you to play for yourselves to find out a number of interesting issues.